Hey guys, what's up? So, this is another one of those movies just like the last one I reviewed, which was also a body horror film. That I honestly was just like, I'm gonna watch this, finally get this one off the list and not, review it. But after watching it, this is another one I felt the need to give my opinion on because it's such a popular film. So today, a package arrived in the mail for me. It was my copy of David Cronenberg's Videodrome from Criterion. Now, before just now, I'd never watched Videodrome. It was like the elusive Cronenberg film that I had always heard about. And instead of hunting down a copy on the internet like I would have if I wanted to review this, I decided to go ahead and buy a copy of Amazon for like 23 bucks. And I figured if I'm gonna buy it, I might as well go all out and get the Criterion Blu-ray. And now, before I even get to the movie itself and what it's about, I need to talk about this Blu-ray for a second. The Blu-ray picture is very good. I'm not talking about the Blu-ray itself, but the packaging. So the like cover sleeve that Criterion puts on their movies, I have no problem with their cover sleeve. Because it's very simplistic, but it's not as like eye-catching as something as something else. For example, the actual Blu-ray case. The Blu-ray case is a Betamax tape. And it says on the front, damn it, "Long live the new flesh." And on the side it says Videodrome. And and it looks like and it has the very kind of like bootleg feel to it. And I really, really dig that. But yeah, now we'll get on to the film. This is a body horror film from 1983. It's a surrealist, like postmodernist science fiction body horror film, directed by David Cronenberg, who gave us his remake of The Fly from the 1980s, as well as Naked Lunch, The Brood, Scanners, and Existenz, which I'll be making a lot of comparisons between Videodrome and Existenz because they're very similar films. But basically, Videodrome is about a president of like this small-time TV station, and his channel likes to show a lot of sex and violence, and basically he's looking for new programming. And he comes across this like bootleg kind of piracy, like hidden underground transmission of a show called Videodrome. Videodrome is basically a TV show that is made up of a series of hour-long snuff films, with there being a different victim each time, and it shows every week on an underground, like, hidden signal that they have to find and unscramble. And he eventually starts bootlegging it and putting it on tapes, and he thinks that this could be the next big thing in entertainment. And basically he starts to go slowly crazy from watching it and stuff like that. So the acting in this movie is really, it's really good all around. Everybody turns in at least a good performance. Sam with the writing, Cronenberg is a very, very good writer. The characters, while not extremely complex, I did like the main character, although he's a really like dark, sleazy kind of character. I really, really dig his character. Because he's just trying to, he's trying to do something daring and controversial and unique, and I really, really dig that. Everything from a technical standpoint, lighting, music, sound mix, camera work, all that is very, very good, very good. Top-notch stuff, which is not hard considering this is a Cronenberg film. His movies are usually very well made and from a technical standpoint. The effects in this movie are absolutely phenomenal. This is probably often considered to be Cronenberg's best, one of Cronenberg's like all-time best movies. And it's definitely not as gruesome as like The Fly or I don't know, I mean, I would definitely say it's not as gruesome as The Fly. So, yeah, there's that. It's got a nice kind of atmosphere and pacing to it, and the film does try to portray a message as well. And the message is often lost on a lot of people because some people just don't, get what the movie's trying to tell them. Or just some people say, oh, it's just a bunch of surreal body horror nonsense. But in all honesty, a movie being a bunch of surreal body horror nonsense is not a bad thing in my opinion. I often really enjoy movies that are just body horror nonsense. So, yeah. But basically what this film is trying to tell you is there's that old myth that TV rots your brain. And that's basically what this film is about. It's how TV and, movies affect us and how they kind of can change us, I guess. I guess in this movie it's more of a, mental and physical sense. I'm sure that, this is definitely more extreme than what would actually happen if, someone found an underground snuff TV show. It would just probably be reported and maybe the person would get sick by it, but nothing really that bad. Basically, the movie's trying to tell you, TV isn't the best for you. Maybe you should find something else to do. Maybe you should be more creative. And it's definitely probably Cronenberg's most original film, besides Naked Lunch, but I can't really give him credit for Naked Lunch because that was written by William S. Burroughs. Because the book was written by William S. Burroughs. But it's definitely Cronenberg's most original film that is his own idea. And I would definitely say it's probably one of my favorite Cronenberg films now. I still think my all-time favorite Cronenberg film is his adaptation of William S. Burroughs' Naked Lunch, mainly because after watching Naked Lunch and reading the book of it, I can't, the two are so uncannily different that they're both their own thing, and I really love them both. On the gore meter from 1 to 10, 1 being something like Nosferatu and 10 being something like Brain Dead, Videodrome's probably maybe a 4.5, maybe 5. Pretty light stuff for Cronenberg. The real body horror stuff comes towards the end. There's some stuff in between and some pretty surreal, creepy, kind of gross moments, definitely. But it's not too bad. It's definitely not as gruesome as, again, The Fly. But seriously, Videodrome, definitely a classic. I would definitely, this is probably one of the coolest body horror films I've ever seen. Mainly because it's, well, now here's where the connection to Existenz comes in. Existenz, Cronenberg made this around the same time that The Matrix came out. And people went to see The Matrix over seeing Existenz. And I think, personally, Existenz is far better than The Matrix. But that's just my opinion. Now, Existenz is much like Videodrome in the sense that Videodrome is about how TV shows and how TV can really, how TV affects you, really. And while Existenz, on the other hand, is about how video games can affect you. And they're both very similar. I would definitely say, Videodrome is definitely the more kind of horror-esque one out of the two, but they're both equally kind of gross and gooey. I don't know. I just thought I'd make that connection because it seems like Cronenberg often likes to put messages in his films, and they usually it's usually pretty hard to write a film and put a message in it without it popping up every few minutes and standing up on the soapbox and being like, hey, this is what we're trying to say. So that's what, and Videodrome can do this perfectly. All in all, I would highly recommend it if you have not checked it out yet. If you are a fan of Cronenberg's films, definitely would say I would definitely recommend you check it out. And And if you have seen it before and you do not have this Criterion Blu-ray yet, I would definitely highly recommend you go pick it up. It's only like 23 bucks. Definitely worth the price you're paying for it. It has 2 audio commentaries along with a short film by David Cronenberg and a few documentaries about the effects done on the film and stuff. So yeah, that's really, really cool. 10 out of 10. I really, 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 really like this movie. Yeah. So anyway, guys, if you liked the video, like my channel, be sure to like this video, favorite it, whatever you want, and maybe subscribe perhaps. I would really, really appreciate that. And check the links in the description below. There are links to things like my Tumblr, Twitter, all that, Facebook. All that is in the description below. Hey there, kids. Do you want to get cool stuff in the mail like this? Or this? Or even this? Well, then subscribe to Horror Block today. Have you ever wanted to do cool cosplays like this? Or even this? Well, now you can. Subscribe to Moonchild Cosplay on YouTube, and you can see all her tutorials on how to do cool stuff like this. Do you want to get cool horror and exploitation film t-shirts like this? Or this? Or this? Well, then go to RottenCotton.com to check out all of their premium t-shirts.